It's finally here. Today is the day that we are starting our fall seeds that we're going to plant out come September. You all had asked that I do a video where we actually plant the fall seeds together so you can see exactly what I'm planting, when I'm planting, and when I plan to transplant them out. And most importantly, how I decide what I need to plant now so I don't have a bare spot in the garden. And truly, every successful garden starts weeks before anything goes outside. And this is the part that most people never see. Today is really about giving your seeds a head start so you can plant out healthy transplants and have a sooner harvest and more of a harvest come this fall and even into the winter. But before I ever open a seed packet, I start with this one thing. I have a planting guide for every season down here in North Florida. And this guide tells me exactly what should be planted in what month out into the garden. So I reference this guide to know what seeds I should start today inside. It really takes the guesswork out of my planting, and I can just have one reference that I need to go to for each season instead of having to look up every single plant individually. So if we go to 4 weeks from now, which is September, we can see that there is a whole host of vegetables and herbs that we can plant out into our garden. So I take a look at this and I see what things I want to plant. I know I'm going to plant broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. I already have my kale. Definitely need to do more lettuce. I'm going to direct sow some carrots. Herbs really come back into play in September, so I have my cilantro and dill in large pots inside that I'll transplant out once September comes. I am going to start some fennel. I am going to start some more lemon balm, and I am going to start some lavender. As far as flowers go, I bought some beautiful snapdragon seeds. I've never grown snapdragons in the garden before, but they're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to start a whole bunch of snapdragons today, and I'm also going to start some viola. Those are two seeds that I've read can take about that 6 to 8 week mark to get ready inside before they're strong enough to be transplanted. So I am going to start my snapdragons and my viola today, August 1st, so I can transplant them out end of September, beginning of October. So now we get all the seeds out. I feel like I have a rather responsible amount of seeds for a gardener, right? I don't feel like it's too crazy much, but let me know how it compares to what you have. So this is my imperfect seed kit. Basically anything that doesn't have a package anymore, I put in here into one of these little containers. And it holds the seeds for me with a little label on top. So you lose the information from the seed packet, but I think it's better than having them in plastic bags and having to write a little piece of paper for what it is. So, all right, let's get out our brassica seeds. Now we got fennel. I have a green cabbage and a purple cabbage this year. A broccoli and cauliflower, and for all of these that I bought this year, I looked at my varieties guide that's from the University of Florida Extension Office, and I purposely bought varieties that are meant to be grown in Florida climates. I'll link those in the description below as well. So hopefully these guys do pretty well in our heat down here. There's my snapdragons. Poppies are for spring. Hollyhocks are spring. And these are all of my already opened seeds. Oh, I am going to plant some more milkweed in my trays because not everything we plant today is for us. These are for all of our pollinator friends. It's my lettuce and my other lettuce. I'm going to direct sow some carrots this month as well. I already got my Mexican tarragon, Rudbeckia, alyssum. It's a little too early for alyssum. Basil, peppers, squash, cucumbers, tomatoes, nasturtiums. There's my lemon balm. Roselle. Okay, I'll check the seed kit here. There's my violas. And I think that is everything. I'm gonna get this cleaned up here and I'll get my seed trays out. Okay, so should have everything we need here. Let me move my seeds to the side. So I have my Vigo 76 cell trays here, and I just start them. I put them in the bottom watering tray right away so the soil doesn't come out of the bottom. We're going to fill these with some seed starting mix today. Before this past, spring when I started seeds or summer when I started seeds, I was not a big seed starter believer or seed starter mix believer. I always just used general potting soil because it just seemed kind of silly to me to think that seeds need like a special type of soil in order to germinate in when they grow through cracks in the sidewalk and they grow best when nature plants them instead of me. I used a seed starting mix this past year. I noticed that I had much better germination rates and the plants that emerged were a lot stronger. When I popped those seedlings out of the trays too, the root system was like the best root system that I have ever grown on any of my transplants. So it turned me into a seed starting mix believer, so I am going to use seed starting mix today for all of my plants. I've used a few different brands and they've all worked just fine for me. This is just the brand and the bag that I have right now, so use what you can find. Okay, so I'm going to fill up my bucket with my seed starting mix here. It's nice and fluffy. And I know I'm going to need a lot because I'm probably going to be filling 2 76 cell trays. So I'll just give that guy a good jump start. Put this up here for you all. And then you want to pre-moisten your soil before you put it in there so those plants are already in a nice moist environment and you aren't having to try to get that soil moist all the way through after you have those delicate seedlings already planted. All right, so let's give this a little bit of a drink here. All right, and then we mix it. Okay, that's probably pretty good. We're just going to fill these trays. Just pop it right on top. My gardening gloves are also Dunzo. Both of them had holes and were just all used up. So I'm in the market for new gardening gloves. If y'all have any recommendations on any gloves that you found and that you've loved, that would be great. Bonus points if they're a little bit cute, some flowers or something on them, that'd be great. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so your trays will look pretty full once you do them with that method, but you want to make sure that you press down in each of the circles a bit because this soil is so like light and fluffy that it doesn't always fall down to the bottom of the tray. So you just give it a little bit of pressure here, not looking to compact it, but you know, you want to make sure that that cell is full of soil and not just air. Okay, so they've all been patted down and maybe you can see that there, but there's actually a lot of room, especially on the cells that are along the outside. So now we go through and we actually top those up again, and they should be good to go. Okay, so tray 1 is done. It's all filled with seed starting mix now, so I will go ahead and switch it out and do tray 2. Same thing here. I'm out of seed starting mix, so I'll mix up another bucket here, but pro tip, my hands are super dirty. I always keep my watering can close to me when I'm doing this for keeping the soil moist, but I also dunk my hands off in it. So that way everything I have to touch during it doesn't get super dirty too. So okay, so now that I have all of my seedling trays filled with soil and I have all of my seeds picked out, I need to flip to my next page of this fall guide, and it shows us how many plants to plant per square foot of each of the vegetables in your garden. Some of them have a little bit of wiggle room, so like for example here it says lettuce at 1 per square foot. If you're the kind of person that grows an entire lettuce plant and then whacks it off at the bottom to harvest the whole head, you might want to do 1 per square foot. Personally, I like to grow lots of different lettuces and I just harvest the outer leaves as needed, so I can plant up to about 4 plants per square foot. But if I'm going to start here with my brassicas and my fennel, I know that all of those need 1 plant per square foot, which would translate to 1 plant in here per square foot. So I'll grab all of my brassica seeds and my fennel. So I have cabbage, cauliflower, fennel, another lettuce, and here is broccoli. Okay. So for my varieties here, I have 2 different types of cabbage. I have a Salad Delight, which is a purple cabbage, and then I have an Early Jersey Wakefield, which is a traditional green cabbage. Both of these varieties were recommended for growing in Florida by the UF Extension. I do have a varieties PDF as well in the bio if you want to see all of the recommended varieties for all the different types of vegetables we can grow down here. That's linked in the description below. So we got these 2, and then for cauliflower, we have a Snowball self-blanching cauliflower. Fennel is an Orion hybrid. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If you have never tried fennel bulb before, it is so worth the try. It tastes completely different than fennel seed. I'm not a fan of fennel seed like in sausages, but fennel bulb has a completely unique taste all of its own. When you cook it, it becomes the consistency kind of like onion, like it's a softer vegetable. And there is a stuffing recipe that my husband loves for Thanksgiving, so I'm hoping to grow some fennel this year to make that for our stuffing. So last of our brassicas, we have some broccoli. This is a green sprouting calabrese broccoli. I'm not sure how you say that one either. Fun fact with your broccoli, so you can harvest like your main head of broccoli when it's ready, but don't harvest the whole plant at the base. If you just harvest the head that's ready on top, the broccoli will shoot out a bunch of side shoots and make smaller heads of broccoli. It's not enough for a full serving with just one side sprout, but if you have several heads of broccoli like we're going to plant today, you can get several more servings of broccoli if you put all of those side shoots together. So, fun fact about your broccoli. So we have all of our brassicas and fennel, and then I'm going to do some more lettuce. We have a black-seeded Simpson lettuce and a butter crunch lettuce. I wanted my lettuce this year to have like a little bit more like substance or crunch to it. I felt like the lettuce I grew in the past, as soon as I would chop it, it kind of lost its texture. And these both looked like they had a little bit more texture online. So I'm going to try both of these this year. We'll see how they do. I'm going to plant some more lemon balm here. So I did try to grow some lemon balm already, but that's one that you just put right on the surface of your plants or right on the surface of your soil, and it needs the light to germinate. Well, I'm not the best with watering, right? So they didn't germinate too well, but I also forgot to cover that seed tray with its humidity dome. So I'm going to try some more again today, and I'll make sure to put the humidity dome on it. Then we have our milkweed. Our varieties here, these are Florida varieties. So 2 of them are swamp milkweeds. So swamp milkweeds, of course, need to live in a very damp, swampy soil. That's kind of tough here in my backyard. Our water drains very quickly. I did see a trick you could do with swamp milkweed if you do want to grow these varieties in your yard, that you can plant those in a pot that you would then bury under the ground, but a pot that doesn't have a hole in the bottom. So you could basically make that soil more moist than all the soil around it by only watering that plant to give it the swampy-like condition that it thrives in. So if you really want to grow swamp milkweed in your yard, that might be something for you to try. I, on the other hand, am going to try some common pink milkweed, some beautiful butterfly orange milkweed, and this showy pink milkweed, because not everything we plant is for us, right? We got to take care of our pollinators too. So we have all of these varieties. I know that I have 8 squares available for all of my brassicas and my fennel. So I go through now and I just make holes in the soil that I can drop seeds in. So I need 8 holes, about 1/4 an inch deep for our broccoli. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 8 for our cabbage. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here's purple cabbage, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, I like doing this as well first if I know what plants I'm going to plant, because I only have to get my hands dirty once before I'm then touching the seeds, so the seeds don't get all stuck to my fingers. And then fennel, I do have 8 spots available for fennel, but I don't feel like I need 8 fennel bulbs, so I'm only going to do 4 of those, and the rest I will fill in with lettuce. But I'm going to drop my seeds in here first so I can see the seeds that are already in the holes, and then I'll make my lettuce holes. All right, so now I'm going to make my 16 lettuce holes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, we have 16 lettuce holes. Okay, so next up I will do my lemon balm, and these are the guys that I had trouble with this past time. They have to be right on top of the soil and they have to stay moist. So I'm going to sprinkle some of these over 1, 2, 3, 4 of my trays here, and definitely put my humidity cover over these this time. Great, next up we have our viola. So this is my first time planting viola from seed. I bought transplants last year and I saved the seeds from the blue and purple ones. I notice in here that there are 2 different color seeds. One is like a yellow, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, probably not. One is like a yellow and one is a dark brown. And since this is my first time, I'm not really sure if that has anything to do with the viability of the seeds or if it has to do with there being 2 different colors of viola mixed into this container. So we'll see. I'm going to plant these guys right on the surface and we'll just fill up this last row here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of viola. I'll sprinkle them on top, and then we'll move on to our milkweed. Okay, those are done, and now we have 4 milkweed. Oh, 1, 2, 3 milkweeds. We have 3 different types of milkweeds and 12 cells left. So we'll do 4 milkweeds of each type. So I make my hole here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and then I will put 4 of these each in my tray. Okay, so now that all of those seeds are planted, we're going to go ahead and just cover up each of those cells, and you give them a firm pat. You're not looking to compact the soil, but you do need to have the soil making good contact with all of those seeds in order for them to germinate properly. So we cover these guys up pretty well. Funny story, I actually tried to plant some past seeds. I don't know if it was this summer or what, but I tried to plant them in the middle of my day when I had my little hands helping me. And I didn't notice until a few days later when I went to check it and I opened the humidity dome that I actually didn't cover like half of the seeds. I must have started and got sidetracked with something else and my brain just checked it off my list. So that was interesting, but I actually went back and recovered those seeds that I hadn't covered originally, and they still germinated just fine, which I was pretty surprised about. Okay, so those are all covered now. The next thing to do is I will give them just a little bit of a drink through bottom watering in this tray. This is a 10-20 bottom tray. It fits these Vigo trays very easily in them, so I don't have to worry about watering them and having the water come out of the holes in the bottom. I just set them right in my 10-20 trays. So I'll give them a little bit of a drink here, and I don't have a humidity dome that fits over them here, so I'm going to use some press and seal or some saran wrap to just cover the top of them until those seedlings emerge. That'll be really important for those lemon balms, and I'm guessing the viola as well, knowing their size. They're so tiny. I feel like they do need to probably be very close to the surface in order to germinate properly. So that's the plan with this tray, and then the other tray here is going to be all snapdragon seeds. Again, that's a new one for me growing this year, but the pictures of them are absolutely beautiful, so I'm hoping to have lots of snapdragons to plant out as well. Once those are planted, both of these trays are going inside under my grow lights, and I check them probably more than I should, but I'll give you guys an update in about a week, and then after 2 weeks, most of these will be ready to transplant into a larger seed tray. I have an example here. So these are my 3-inch pots that I've been using this season. I can fit 28 of them in one of these 10-20 trays. So after they outgrow this plug tray, which I'm learning is about 2 weeks, I pot them up with potting soil into here. They go back into a 10-20 tray and stay under the grow lights for around another 2 weeks. For those vegetables, where these flower seeds and some of these herbs will probably be inside closer to that 6 to 8 weeks total. So 4 to 6 weeks after they're potted out of their plug trays. If you'd like for me to walk through a custom garden plan that's built exactly for your garden, I do have an option for that with the link in my bio below. Until next time, I'll see you soon.